why is it that rich people always, or wealthy people are into philanthropy? Because they have to give back. What is the thrill of creating and solving problem that makes them do that? Money is a consequential, effect of whatever it is that they're doing. So eventually everyone will give their money away. Bill Gates, all of them, Bezos, they're all going to give that money away. But the fact that they solve a problem for humanity is what drives them. That is what makes them happy. So it's not, whether it's on the Bezos side or just a small business, online business on Instagram, whatever it is that they're doing, monetary aspect may not necessarily be the core. You can start with that, which is fine. But the more you grow, the more you see, wow, I'm actually doing something that is touching people, the monetary aspect becomes secondary.
Turn around. Turning point. Yeah. He's a turnaround. Hello and welcome to Springboard, your virtual university. My name is Albert Okran. Welcome you to Ghana's foremost developmental program and that place where the greatest minds in the world converge. Springboard is brought to you by the Springboard Roadshow Foundation in partnership with MTN Ghana, the Enterprise Group, and the Ghana Growth Program, a collaboration between Mastercard Foundation and Springboard. Our media partners, Joy 99.7 FM, Joy News Television, and the Graphic Group of Newspapers. You can also find our past editions on the Springboard channel on YouTube. So this conversation is about the entrepreneurial mindset. What kind of thinking, what kind of orientation is required to be a successful entrepreneur? Are you born with it? Do you acquire it? Can it be transmitted genetically? Is it what friend Denpo? Is it hereditary? We'll find all that out today because my guest is very well equipped to provide us with answers, insights, understanding of entrepreneurship. Andrew Ackah is my brother, friend, and it's good to have you here, Andrew. Thanks for coming.
Thank you very much, Reverend. Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
I've been meaning to come to your studio, so it's great. It's great to be here finally.
They say it's been a long time coming.
It's been a long time coming.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
What do you think of the subject of the entrepreneurial mindset? What are your thoughts on it?
I think before we try and define what that is, I'm not a big fan of defining something in a box, but I like to say this: there are people who inherently have a certain, they have a certain difficulty continuing to live in their lives without solving problems, because as it were, as humans, we have various sort of problems to cure, to solve. So if people identify that they can do something to help, or they can do something to provide, or they can do something to enhance humanity, lifestyle, whatever it is, they have, that problem is in them. And until they birth the solution for that problem, they become restless, right? Others will say that it's just because they want to make money and they've seen an opportunity to make money. So people have their own theories, but I think if you to wrap it up, it's just it must be within you. You must feel something to want to do. You must, we all created to multiply, to create. And if you have that in you and it's a burning desire and you want to do that, I think that you have the opportunity to learn the principles of entrepreneurship and then start a process, a system that can continuously churn out the solution that you have, burning inside of you.
So Andrew's the CEO of Dentsu Ghana, and he's the president of the Advertising Association of Ghana, a very thriving, vibrant group of intelligent people providing solutions. And you're saying that it really starts with having a solution to a problem that you identify.
Yes.
So with Dentsu, what problem did you set it up to solve, or did you set out to solve?
So Dentsu is a global company. I mean, they purchase the business that we're running locally here, and the solution we provide is to partner or collaborate with clients to solve their problems. As consumers of products and services, that there's competition, right? So, and there's limited budget. So everyone wants to sell their product. Everyone wants to sell their solutions, and the various channels to sell their product and services. So what we provide is a marketing solution but layered in that is the innovation that we bring along, is the tech that we bring along, is the data analysis that we bring along, is the thinking, the strategy that we put together to solve clients' problems. And I think it's been an interesting journey. But the soul of our business is not just the data, and I think it's the culture that we have built that is appealing to client, because we listen, we understand, we see our clients as an extension or we see ourselves as an extension of our client's business, and that respect, that integrity, that understanding of the client's business, thorough understanding of the client business, and partnering with them, and not just giving them solutions and going, but partnering with them and caring about their business, and celebrating with them when the campaign works, and and their market share is growing, but also be with them when they have tough times, right? And now, during COVID, for instance, all clients say, look, we can't pay the sort of retainer that we used to pay because we are going through. So we had to agree to cut down, our retainer because we're in crisis. So I think those are the little things that clients look out for, not just the core function of providing advertising solutions or marketing solutions in their thinking, but also truly believing that you're a partner, but doing this with integrity and respect, mutual integrity and respect. I think that is what sells in our industry.
20 years ago, when you started out on this journey, is that how you thought? Because I'm listening to your definition of what you do, and I'm saying, wow, this is almost like something you've curated and refined, and the thinking is very, very clear. It's more than selling something to someone. It's almost like getting in the boat with them, riding together, exploring as you go, understanding them well, and helping them to get to their desired destination and finding fulfillment yourself in their arriving. And I'm saying, 20 years ago, when you started what you do, or when you got into what you do, was that how the thinking was?
I didn't think that 2 decades after I started my journey, I would be here. I knew I could be here, but I didn't know how much it would take for me to be here.
How was it like at that time?
I think I chanced upon this. I didn't know anything about advertising. I chanced upon this. I was done with school.
What was your background?
So I was tech. I was in University of Science and Technology. I read economics, geography, and math. That's what my two daughters want to do, which is fine. And then
we'll talk about them.
But at that time, I was a teacher. After that, I was a teaching assistant, and the professors were, what teaching assistant means that you really understand what it is that you're doing. So they were coaching us to go get scholarship and do a PhD and all of that. But I was different, right? I loved academia, but I didn't think that it was me, even though I could go through it. But I decided not to further myself because I wanted to be on the field. I'm a practical person. I want to see, I want to feel, I want to understand what this thing is. So I chanced upon advertising.
Were you born like that? Did you grow up like that?
I think coming from a large family of 30 and being the last but one, I think that my upbringing gave me a lot of space to watch and learn and prepare myself, because I had bigger, older siblings ahead of me, and I watched them. Their mistakes were my learning platform. The advice, I took them, and I watched what each and every one, built in their lives. And I took, so I was quite curious and observant when I was a kid. And I think that allowed me to have the space to also want to ask questions. Why this? Why not this? Why that? Why not that? So that got into me. So knowing that I've gone to school, I've learned, I passed my exams, they say I'm a great student, that's fine. But furthering that and coming to teach people without being practical was not something I could do. I could learn the theory, but I don't understand how I should further learn the studies and come and give the same theory to people. I wanted to practicalize it. So I came to the job market, which was tough. And it was really tough. I mean, with my CV, with my tie and shirt tucked in, belt, shoe, shiny shoe, walking, at Circle. At that time, they were doing the construction, quite dusty. A car just splashed water on me. I looked at my CV and went back home. My sister came saying, you know what? There's this little advertising place that I used to, just go and check, maybe. So I walked in there, had an interview, and they said, when can you start? I said, I'm looking for a job. I can start today. Go come Monday. So that's how I chanced upon it. Even that I was still...
Thank God for cast a circle that splash water on you.
Yes. But Sister K is like, geez, man, you know what? Because I wanted to work at a bank. I loved... when I see people in the suit and tie, I loved it. I wanted to work at a bank. But I got in there and I said, what is this advertising thing? But the day that, we all have aha moments, right? The day the whole, business track was when we had a campaign. We had a campaign for Guinness then. And my boss was always saying, when a campaign, commences, when we break a campaign, you see everything just moving. So, we said, no, guys, we're going live. And everybody was just sitting there like, guys, what is going on?
Yeah.
And then, do you know Excel? I said, yes. Can you do this? Can you do that? Can you do that? And people are printing and sending and making. I'm like, what is this, guys? I've never seen this before. But it gave me that opportunity to understand that there's the urgency to want to do something when you have to do it. So I went through the mail. Then I started understanding that this is marketing. I didn't read marketing. I read economics. So I went to the bookshop and bought me marketing books as if I was going to write my final exams in the university. And I learned it day and night because I wanted to understand the principle behind marketing, communication, advertising, branding, all of these. I bought books that I could learn. And I learned them, actually, and I used them. And then after a while, it dawned on me that this is what I really wanted to do because it was structured business. And the most intriguing thing about it is understanding consumer behavior. Why people make the choices that they make. Why would I choose a Mercedes over a BMW or over this new Chinese range of vehicles? Like, why do consumers make those choices? So now I became a student of consumer understanding, the philosophy, the thinking, the cultural patterns. Why we, so it's an interesting mix of the principles of marketing, a bit of economics in there, but it's also a bit of the heart. And that's where the psychology comes in, understanding people and why they think and why they make choices. And they present the platform on which we, marketers, as we call it, or marketing communication experts, we ride on that because we understand how you think and how you feel. So when we are crafting a communication, we know exactly what to say to convince you to buy a product instead of that of competition. So once I got there, I was like, okay, but this is what I wanted to do. Architecture has always been part of my thinking. So knowing that I'm in a place that we can structure the thought, the process, and understanding the reason why we do what we do, and seeing that smile on the client face and that email that says, thank you so much. I mean, we owe a debt of gratitude to you and your team for making this campaign successful. It was 360 for me, and I said, well, maybe this is the place that I need to be for the next 20 years, and that's why I'm here.
Andrew Ackah is my guest for today. Just putting a smile on my face, and the smile is one of 6 words I'm going to share with you for my learning so far. First is self-awareness.
Yeah.
I think I like the idea of self-awareness. That listen, academia is attractive, but it's not me.
Yeah.
The second one is serendipity. This circle car splashing water on you and your sister saying, Charlie, go try this advertising. I mean, it just has to be divine.
Yeah.
That confluence of experiences that brings you to where you ought to be. And you're like, I mean, how did I even get to this place?
Yeah.
The third one is searching. The learning as you went along, being able to say, listen, this is a nice place, but I don't know anything about this. I need to get the books and learn it. I'll put that under searching. And then being a student of patterns, the psychology, how people think, how people process, how your client works. That makes you a student of patterns. So the fourth is student. And the last one is satisfaction. And that really is just the joy of knowing that you've made somebody happy, and the money is great, but the feeling that you've worked for them, they are pleased, and then you are happy in that one.
Yeah.
Those are the 5 things I've picked from you about entrepreneurial mindset. Now throw on the smile, and I think you're getting somewhere. Are you learning the same things we are learning? This is Springboard, your virtual university. This is a conversation about the entrepreneurial mindset. What does it take to start a business? What does it take to grow a business? What does it take to thrive in an enterprise you've created that seeks to provide solutions? And Andre is telling us about self-awareness, serendipity, searching, being a student of patterns, and also the satisfaction of serving people and feeling that that is what you were born to do. So, Andre, you now find yourself in an industry you were not in before.
Yes.
How did you navigate your way to where you are today?
It was great at the beginning until I was put on the seat of leadership. It was great because, of course, you had bosses and, so it's easy. You can do your function, go to your meetings, write your reports and all of that. By some sort of, I wouldn't call it, I don't know whether to call it divine, by a certain pattern, I happened to lead the business 3 years after I joined. I left the business and then, top of my of blessed memory, my godfather brought me back. And then all of a sudden I was sitting on the seat of leadership. And that is when everything started, because I realized that I wasn't who I thought I was. Because
what do you think you were?
I had to elevate myself from where I was a functional person who was still me, but didn't understand that it takes a lot of responsibility to be elevated to a point where you are taking care of just not the business, but taking care of a lot of people. And that everyone's concern is your concern. The client is your concern, including the people who are working for you. And there's a lot of tension between that elevated status and what you have to do.
Let's explore that a bit more.
Yes. So I'll give an example.
Don't say it in person. It's such a big issue that I'm looking you right in the eye, Andrew. Yes. So do you find that there is a different kind of skill set required to lead than to just be in a functional role, as it were? And the follow-up question to that one, are people always able to make this transition from being in a functional role at no matter what level it is, and then being in leadership?
Absolutely. The game changes from night to day. The game of leadership changes from night to day. And I'll give an example. If you're a functional person, courage is always, saying that, yes, I'm bold, I can do this, I can do that. But when you become a leader, you realize that it's not a destination, it's a continuum. Someday you say I'm brave. Someday, wisely, you don't pretend that you're brave. You need to come to the middle. The same thing with resilience. If you're young and in your own function, everything, you're up there, no, I won't give in. No, the client is wrong, But sometimes when you're at the seat of leadership, you realize that showing strength and power is not the way to achieving exactly what you want to do. So you move from a spot to a whole continuum of that same thing that you call, whether it's courage, whether you call it concern, whether you call it generosity. You realize that it's not a destination, it's a space that you have to work through. And within this space is a lot of tension, right? Human beings, we're always in a pendulum. So understanding where to be at any point in time with whichever idea, with whichever client, with whichever consumer, is a skill you need to navigate all by yourself.
Do people fall on their sword when it gets to that point?
Yes,
and
they do.
Unable to make the transition?
They do, and I've fallen on that sword before. Like, you need to be prepared to fail. You will fail. You just need to learn from your mistakes and make sure that you don't continue with that pattern. So back to your question. Yes, it's a different game when you become a leader, and I would say this. First, you need to want to be a student of leader, meaning that you need to want to listen, you want to learn, and you want to give space for others to come and share and pour their experience into you. And I had all three. So I would say that I was privileged. I had people. Everyone needs a mentor. Everyone needs somebody they can speak to when they fall through. But the bigger issue is that then you realize you're not doing this for yourself. So one of the fulfilling moments is when someone works for Dentsu, leaves Dentsu, and I meet them outside, and the smile on their face and the fulfillment and just saying thank you. You changed my life. You added something to my life. Like I don't know how anyone can pay anyone for such a compliment. It's not monetary based, but it's something that makes you feel you've done something, right? That what you thought was nothing. You're just providing a space for young people to come and learn and grow, and you feel like it means something, right? And that for me is the passion that most entrepreneurs is that you talk to most entrepreneurs, it's not about the money, because eventually there's a transition. You're going to leave the money for someone
Let's
else.
speak to this issue.
Yeah.
I look into the eyes of people who are leading businesses. I look into the eyes of people who are doing stuff. And then they tell me it's not about the money.
No.
And they say it over and over.
It's not.
And it looks like they mean it. And then I talk to people who are beginning their journey sometimes, and I find that there's an inordinate focus on the money. Help me to understand. What does it take to get to that place where you say it's not about the money? Is it a place you get to? Is it an orientation that you start with? There must be something. If it's not about the money, then what's it about?
It's about creating something. It's an idea, right? And if you see that idea being fulfilled in others, it gives you that satisfaction. Money is only for economic reason, because you can buy a house, you can, from history, everyone is going to leave whatever they're creating. All this money that people are making. Why is it that rich people always, or wealthy people are into philanthropy? Because they have to give back. What is the thrill of creating and solving problems that makes them do that? Money is a consequential, effect of whatever it is that they're doing. So eventually everyone will give their money away. Bill Gates, all of them, Bezos, they're all going to give that money away. But the fact that they solve a problem for humanity is what drives them. That is what makes them happy. So it's not, whether it's on the Bezos side or just a small business, online business on Instagram, whatever it is that they're doing, monetary aspect may not necessarily be the core. You can start with that, which is fine. But the more you grow, the more you see, wow, I'm actually doing something that is touching people. The monetary aspect becomes secondary. Now you're looking at real impact. And that is what the fulfillment is about. That is where the heart comes in. That is where you sleep and you smile because you know that you've done something. That level of self-satisfaction can never be paid.
Is it a movement from success to significance, or this orientation is there right from the beginning when you start?
No, it's not right. For me, at least for me, it's not right from the beginning. You remember I said that there's something in you that you want to birth, right? Like you want to solve a problem. You don't know how it is. It's just like pregnancy. You don't know how the baby is going to look like, right? Whether it's going to look like the mother or the father, you don't know. But you know that there's a baby in there. You know it is growing. It's only when the birth happens and you see and you look at the beautiful baby like, God, this is what we have made. That is the same journey that, that entrepreneurs go through. Once the birthing happens, and it would hit you, be like, wow, this is what I'm doing. This is what I have done. This is what I've created. That is when you can smile, when you're sleeping. Just like, when I came here, I told you that, I've followed Springboard all my life. And when I see what you've created with, with the missus, it's just incredible, and you keep doing it. It's like you can't stop. And I've already done everything. I've listened to you 1,001 times. Where do you get the energy to keep doing? Why? Because there's someone who has a dream that listening to this podcast, listening to this interview, would take someone that never listened to you or never listened to you this way, would hear you say something, would hear me say something, and that is going to be their torch. And that torch is what they are going to move in life with, drive with, and when they are done, they're going to give the torches to somebody else. That single light can light 1,000 other torches. And that is that's what is in you. That's what you keep doing what you're doing. And for me, it's a similar thing. I feel that what we are building for our client, the business that we're building, when I see, my team, incredible team, what they do and the satisfaction in, whether they're moving or whether they're growing in the business, that is something that you can't buy, you can value.
It's like a calling.
I told you it's a calling, but you don't have to be stubborn to your calling. Once you're called, you have to act.
So it's like the work of God.
And I would, the moment you say that, people think that everything has to be by divine, proclamation.
Absolutely not.
When you get the calling, you have to act. So the calling it's in you. You can't stop it until you do what you were born to do, to find that purpose. You can't stop.
So you smiled and said, it's like fatherhood. All right. So on that note of fatherhood, let me introduce my special guest for today. You are just the forerunner. My special guest for today is your daughter, Nanefua. So I'm going to find out from Nanefua whether she agrees with what you're saying or she has a different perspective. Nanefua, tell me, welcome to Springboard.
Thank you very much.
So for the purpose of our guests who are watching and listening to us, tell us your full name and where you are on your educational journey.
Okay, so my name is Andrew Ackah. I'm 15 years and I'm schooling at Ghana Christian International High School, and I'm in year 11, or some would say Form 2. And I'm currently in my third term, and I'll go to year 12 next by September. So,
What are you reading in school?
when am I?
Studying in school?
Okay, I'm studying the general arts course. That's my electives are economics, geography, art, math, and French.
Your father read economics, math, and you're reading economics, math, and geography. So what is it, hereditary or what?
Oh no. I actually wanted to do this course, and I'm not even like, economics is actually my favorite subject.
I read economics too. So you love it.
Yeah, I really like it.
Is it in your bones?
I think it's just the concepts and everything. Like everything economics is just me. I just like it. I don't know.
You know what? When we come back from this break, I'm going to bring you into this conversation. Let's talk from the perspective of a teenager about things like calling, about things like passion, and about things like cash. Does the money matter or it doesn't matter? Let's bring some perspective. The two of us are getting a bit old, so maybe our thoughts are a bit old. I think for our younger listeners, they would like the fact that a young person is also bringing her thoughts into this conversation. Is that a good idea?
Yes, please.
Yay. This is Springboard, the virtual university. We'll go for a break. When we come back, Nanefua will bring a whole different perspective to what these old men are saying about fulfillment from just watching clients. She's going to tell us what the young people think about cash, about calling, about satisfaction, about teams, about searching, and everything in between. So if you're a young person listening, please stay tuned because we'll bring a younger perspective to this conversation. And if you know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody, call them, text them, WhatsApp them, wherever they are, find them and put them on, because in the next couple of minutes, let's bring a kaleidoscope of thought into the potpourri. It's not going to be easy. This is Springboard, the virtual university, brought to you by the Springboard Ratio Foundation in partnership with MTN Ghana, the Enterprise Group, the Ghana Growth Program, itself a collaboration between MasterCard Foundation and Springboard. We are supported by our media partners, Joy 99.7 FM, Joy News Television, and the Graphic Group of Newspapers, and of course, the Springboard channel on YouTube. Please don't go away.
Going to the library. Going to the library.
Okay. I'm going for my graduation. Go well.
Education changes stories, and being part of these stories is the real passion for us. MTN.
No stress. Submit your insurance claim online in just seconds on the Claims Express portal. Simply upload your national ID, cost estimates, pictures, and more to get started. Submit online, track progress, and get paid fast. Skip the paperwork and get back on the road with ease. Visit claimexpress.enterprisegroup.net.gh for easy claims and quick payouts with absolutely no stress.
Enterprise, your advantage.
Welcome back to Springboard, your virtual university, and to this transgenerational conversation about the entrepreneurial mindset. My guest, Andrew Ackah, CEO of Dentsu Ghana and the president of the Advertising Association of Ghana, and he's helping me to understand how the entrepreneur thinks and some of the pillars of his journey. Springboard is brought to you by the Springboard Roadshow Foundation. Our partners are the Enterprise Group, NTN Ghana, and the Ghana Growth Program, a collaboration between MasterCard Foundation and Springboard. Talking about enterprise, the Enterprise Spotlight is looking for that next big entrepreneur, and the process is underway. It's a challenge sponsored by the Enterprise Group, and with a prize pool of 500,000 Ghana cedis, national visibility, and a structured mentoring program for a whole year, your business is bound to do well. And 24 out of the hundreds of participants or applicants are being selected and notified. And you want to keep watching Springboard, your virtual university, because in the next few weeks, we'll roll out the actual program and you will watch 24 people live competing for a prize pool of 500,000 cedis. It could be you. If you applied, just keep watching, because you could be on this show selling your ideas to the whole world and getting paid big money. And guess what? Additionally, being mentored for a whole year. It's going to be very exciting over the next few weeks. Please note the enterprise is now ISO 27001 certified, and your data security or safety is absolutely guaranteed. Andrew, so you're telling us that the entrepreneur or the person with an entrepreneurial mindset will go through a certain series of transitions. And in your case, first there was self-awareness about who you are and what you want to do with your life. There was also some moments when things come together. I call it serendipity. Things come together in a way that you can't explain and push you in the direction that you ought to be. And you must be ready for those moments. And I think it requires a bit of flexibility as well. Because if you want to go to the bank and the water splashes on your clothes are circle and they say go to an advertising company, and then here you are president. Beautiful. And then there's also the searching, the continuous learning, a student of process, and then that joy or satisfaction of serving people. And you see, at that point, it's not even about the money. It's about the smile on the customer's face and the smile on your face.
Yes.
Awesome. Let me bring on the thoughts of the next generation. And I'm going to come back to you, Andrea. Let's continue this conversation. But you are privileged to have Nanefua in the studio listening to us as we chat about these things. Let me ask you, at your age, and for the benefit of our listeners, Nanefua is the daughter of Andrew Ackah. So Nanefua, tell me, you are a student. When we talk about finding satisfaction from serving people and not from the money, are you able to relate to it?
Yes, I can relate to it, because every teenager at some point in time will find a passion for something that they love, something that they want to do, something that they want to improve on when they grow up. And personally, I want to go into real estate. And I'm not, right now, the thing that's on my mind is trying to do something I love. That's interior decor and designing and all other stuff. And not just about the money that I'll get from it.
But you get plenty money. Eh?
I'll get money, yeah.
I should befriend you so that when the money comes, uncle can come to the house and then come and get some.
Oh, yes.
Wow. So when you think about the solutions, doesn't mean that when you're going around, you're looking at buildings and they're designed and thinking that you can improve on it. What goes through your mind, even at this stage, when you think about what you want to do with your life?
Because I have this passion for it, I go to search for things that can help me to improve on what I've already, like my aspiration for it. And right now, what's going through my mind is just making sure that I'm able to find something I love. And if I can start now, why not? I mean, improving on something at a young age is better than waiting. If I can start now, why not?
All right. So your next vacation, I'll have a conversation with Dad and we take you some internship at a real estate company or something. But your pursuits, your interests, were they in any way influenced by Dad or Mom?
Yes, my father is really influenced. Like, I'll not lie, every time my father gets the opportunity, he sits me down, he talks to me, he asks me, what's your aspiration? What do you want to do? What do you find? What do you love? Are you sure you want to do this? Every single time. And that's why I appreciate of my father. The fact that he's able to influence me and try and build on my young dreams so that I can turn those dreams into reality one day. And that's what I love about him.
Charlie, I wish it was Father's Day. This would have been just a perfect Father's Day message. But you think fathers or parents should be interested in their children and they should have these conversations? You think so?
Yes, because from a young age, when you keep nurturing their mind and keep influencing them positively, it gets into them, it lets them know, oh, if this is what I want to do and daddy is really encouraging me, then why not go for it? Because in future, when I'm doing this is going to be, oh, daddy said this and that, and I'm really proud and I've actually reached where I am today. So.
For the parents who say the young generation, they push back when you try to get involved and they don't like it when you are trying to guide them, they feel you're trying to dictate to them. What would you say to the parents who give that explanation? What will be your thoughts?
Well, it depends on how you train your child.
Wow.
If you want to train your child in a way that they should know some things as they grow, then it will be so. But if you decide to ignore your child's dreams and ignore whatever's going on in their life, I'm not sure they would want to even listen when you talk about such things. It's like random. Why is daddy saying this all of a sudden?
Great. Let's talk about confidence. You're on national television, being watched across the world. You are talking. Has it been influenced by the fact that your father does this quite a bit?
I feel like it's normal because I don't have social anxiety. So when it comes to some things, because of my dad and everything, like when I'm talking to people, I'm not shy. I just speak my mind.
Really?
Yes, please.
But that's a blessing. I hope you know that.
Oh, yes, please.
When we were growing up, we were told, keep quiet, keep quiet. We were told several times to keep quiet. I mean, by the grace of God, we spoke up, but if we had listened, we would have become very timid and very unsure. But you are encouraged to speak up.
Yes, please.
So what would you say to young people who are also listening to you?
I would say that at a young age, don't always be caught up in a box. Like, let your expressions be out. Don't be scared of what people might say. Speak your mind. Whatever happens, happens. If it goes wrong, you fix it. If it doesn't go wrong, if it goes well too, then you improve on it. It's like a step-by-step process. So I feel like every child out there, every teenager out there should be able to be open about their opinions and decisions and take on hurdles when they come.
Right. Did you enjoy your dried fruits?
Oh yes, I really like it.
Yeah, Charlie, this house is full of what do you call it? Processed food, agribusiness products. Charlie, you know we have a mandate to support agribusiness. Absolutely. And especially young people trying the ideas in agribusiness. When you come to this house here, the studios and everywhere is full of chips, nuts, coffees, teas that young people are doing, young women trying out their ideas. Yeah. Would you build a business when you grew up in Nanefua?
Yes.
So they will call you CEO.
Yes, please.
That will be very powerful.
Yes.
Before you leave, I mean, I'll continue with Daddy, but before you leave us, make a shout out or a dedication to somebody on Springboard Virtual University. They are watching you all over the world. Make a dedication to somebody.
Okay.
Or a couple of people.
So, shout out to my mom, Andrew Ackah. She's very inspirational. She's brought me to where I am today. She's a very big part of my nurturing. And shout out to my friends in school, Mamea and Akosia. They're really, really helpful and they really encourage me. That's what I love about them.
Wow.
Yes.
Ghana Christian International High School.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Mamea and who?
Mamea, Akosia, and Casey. They are very, very inspirational.
Yeah, God bless them.
Yes.
If you are playing a song for them, what song will you play?
I really don't know.
Oh, you have a song?
I don't know.
You don't like music, eh?
I do. I listen to music, but it's mostly R&B.
Yeah, so what song would you have played for them?
I don't know. I don't like a thanks, like a song of thanks or...
Like what?
I love you, me and you. That song.
Thank you so much, Mami Efua. Thank you so much for joining us and for lighting up this moment with youth voice. We love youth voice here. Yep. Because whatever we say, we want to hear the voice of the next generation and give them, amplify the platform for them to talk. Yeah. How does it feel listening to your daughter talk? I'm sure you're smiling and saying...
I go through this every day. Right. And she's right. She shares her thoughts and opinions, but she also has a crafty way of making us enjoy, this journey, because she has a strong will and she shares her thoughts and she's not shy about it. And she understands that this journey comes with discipline. So she's ready for the repercussions of or the discipline that she has to go through to become who she is. So we are blessed that all the kids understand that. We have a mandate and a responsibility to raise you to become who you want to be, but we want to have fun doing it. But you also need to understand that we need to go through a certain system of discipline so that, you can have that path once you become an adult and you're done, you want to do whatever it is.
I once spoke to an entrepreneur who was broken.
Yeah.
Built a conglomerate of businesses, made it big time successfully, but felt he had failed woefully as a parent. And it's not just entrepreneurs. I meet pastors, I meet leaders who feel they lost the family in the process. Andrew, I know we are talking about the entrepreneurial mindset, but I believe this has a space for balanced, holistic living.
Yeah.
How do you find in the midst of all this, with all the targets, with all the people you are managing in the business, with all the international appointments and everything, how do you find the space to also invest in building a stable home and a quality life?
That's a tough one, and I think that it takes two to tango, as people say. So if you do not have the right support system to help you to navigate,
must marry well.
Of course, you must do that, and not just the marriage in itself, but I'm talking about somebody who is a friend who understands you, who's willing to allow you to pursue the dreams that you have to pursue, so that she can take care of the things that she needs to take care of, right? And
vice versa.
Together, and vice versa. So the thing is that you go build our dreams, but I'm also helping you build our dreams here. So we both are building the dreams, but we understand the responsibility because she's a lawyer, and it's a tough job too. But not having that person behind you, not having that backbone, will be very difficult for you to, with this modern pattern, for you to pursue your ambition and go out there and having all the meetings and the pressure from work and pressure from clients and pressure from everywhere, dealing with the association and the members and the billboards and this and that and going for, it's difficult to navigate through this. Meanwhile, you also need to have time for yourself, your hobbies, your this, your that. It's tough. And you only have 24.
What do you do for sport?
I play golf. I've been a sports person, so from basketball to tennis. Now I play golf and I love it.
You still play tennis?
The knees are not allowing me to play tennis as much as I should. Even though I claim I'm 34. No, I love tennis.
I should take advantage of the knees to play you now.
No, I love tennis. It was my first passion, and I still do play, but not as often as possible. But I started learning, how to play golf 5 years ago, and it just changed my perspective about the sport and about life itself. Because golf itself is life. Because you have a brand new opportunity every time to make that perfect decision, which never becomes. So you're always chasing that.
So you follow the Masters and McIlroy's back-to-back win?
Yes. They were watching it. I mean, I was support. Last year was amazing. I jammed. I was traveling, but when he won, I screamed. I was in the airport. I wasn't the only one. The pilot next to me also jammed and screamed because we all wanted him to.
I was reading online comments.
Yeah.
Rio Ferdinand said he jumped and screamed.
Yeah.
It was almost like everybody was prayerfully and willing for him to do the Grand Slam.
Because humanity wants to see excellence.
Okay.
And once he was closing that Grand Slam, and he had seen the journey he went through, he had tried over and failed and over and over. So whether he liked it or not, it was to enhance humanity that we can do something. And those moments are not just for him alone, it's for the whole world, especially young people, that you can keep trying, keep pushing. It's part of our story, right? So we're happy. So this year I was like, he's going to win it again. He didn't win it in the style that I wanted him to win. But yeah, golf is hard, it's tough. It's really tough.
Is that a real life?
That is real life. And that's why I love the sport of golf, because it's teaching you every day. Keep going. You get disappointed. You hit a brilliant shot, and then the follow-up is just horrible.
I mean, he had a 6-point lead at the point.
And then the follow-up becomes, he lost in the day three.
Yes.
Day three. Yeah.
No, so
6 points.
So that person.
And then somebody climbed up, Shuffler and all of them, climbed up to him. even on that day yesterday, Rose was ahead of him. Sometimes Rose was 10, 11, he was 10. I'm like, man, is he going to allow this to slip again? But just being steady and knowing exactly what the goal is and not worrying about what everyone else is doing and keeping that focus is what actually made him win again.
Let's pinch from that to the person who is 6 points ahead in their business journey and then finds themselves trailing.
Yeah.
Speak to that person, because they are real human beings listening to us who are not playing golf, but are playing the game of business.
Yeah.
And from a comfortable lead, if I may use that phraseology, 6 points behind, they find themselves suddenly trailing and asking, what went wrong?
Yeah.
What would you say to them, pinching from Roy McIlroy's?
Somebody once told me that they're going to be 7 fat years and 7 lean years, right? Meaning that life is a journey of loops, right? And you can't win all the time. Of course, if you allow yourself to fail all the time, you could, but you can't win all the time. So if things don't go right, just accept it, right? But find solutions to it, work towards it. Understand, where's the problem coming from? Maybe it's not a problem. Maybe it's just a pattern. Maybe it's something that everyone is dealing with, but you need to figure out how to solve that. But have that foundation to want to stay put. Believe in the conviction of why you started this. The passion we talked about, the birthing, the purpose. Always go back and know that there's a reason why I'm doing this. It's tough. It's difficult. We all go through it. The stuff is, sometimes you want to give up, right? But you look at it, how am I going to give up? What is going to happen to these people that I think I have a responsibility for, right? So 6 points back, don't worry. You can reclaim it, very, very soon. And the future is going to, is going to be bright. So just stick to it. Stick to the path and keep working at it.
Steve Jobs says, I'm convinced that about half of what separates successful entrepreneurs from non-successful ones is pure perseverance.
Yeah.
You agree?
Yes. That's why I like the motto of my alma mater. Omnia Vincit Labor, which is perseverance conquers all. St. Augustine's College. And listening to that.
And you had to bring that in just to start a fight.
No.
I
just thought that perseverance, we had a stronger motto with perseverance in there, so I had to just bring
stronger?
it in. Yes.
Would you think that's stronger than James can think ahead? In the construct of life.
I like in Fransipim School. Don't get me wrong.
Then peace.
I like in Fransipim.
Then there's peace in the studio.
Perseverance conquers all is what it is.
Okay, for the sake of our viewers. Somebody said, so this Cape Coast schools, no matter how old you grow, no matter where you find yourself, you must reignite this one. Yes. This is Springboard University, my friend Andrew Ackah. Look, the guy he's owed me this interview for years. So forgive us for taking this interview into different spaces, but I hope you are learning your lessons about life from this conversation. Ultimately, you're talking about entrepreneurial mindset, but in the quest to discover what it is, we've taken you through golf, we've taken you through life, we've taken you to the next generation, we've taken you through those moments when it looks like, Charlie, 7 lean years, and I assured you that there will be 7 years of abundance also in the cycle of life. Let's talk about your favorite subject, advertising. You seem to have paid interest to some particular concerns, billboard placement, the disturbing sight of billboards falling or sometimes arranged in some way that you're almost like, is this art or is this just, I went to a particular country in Africa and the way the boards were arranged, I was like, mine, oh mine.
Yes.
Properly separated and no clutter. You won't find one next to another. Yeah. And I was like, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Tell me, what do you think as president of this?
It's one of the reasons why I thought let me put myself to serve, right? Because it's very disturbing. Let me use the word disturbing to know that there are principles that work, but unfortunately in Ghana we either we don't want it to work or we don't care enough about it. You know the reason why billboards in those countries work? Because the human mind, it takes 8 seconds for you to prepare, to see, to watch, to read, and to process your thought. So when you're driving at 60, 50 kilometers per hour, 40 kilometers, they've calculated that for a billboard to be effective, you need to give 200 meters apart. It is science. It is not let's just go. It is
You are
science.
my guy. Anyone
It is
that sees the science of
It
things
is
is my friend.
It is the psychology of it. So they've calculated to know that for a billboard to be effective, you need to give between 120 to 200 meters because the human brain is still working. Now, if I'm driving from home, right, and I'm getting to the office and I'm seeing 200 billboards, 200 messages, my mind is already clocked in the morning. I'm thinking about everything. It means that your billboard out there is ineffective because I didn't watch them. There's so many things on my mind. But if you go to places, you can remember in Joburg when he left the airport exactly what you saw. Because there's a single mindset of communicating to consumers. So this is what I think that we need to bring to bear. Unfortunately, we're in a country that we don't have laws that govern advertising. Nigeria has that. The first law was 1988, and just 2021, 2022, they built upon it. So when you land in Lagos, just billboards alone, when you see the pattern, you know that there's a certain thinking that has gone through it. We're trying to work, the Ministry of Local Government to bring the same thing here. It would take a bit of time, but I don't think that, the system allows us to be as efficient as possible in curing some of these problems. But put the billboard aside, it's again quite disheartening that the airwaves is so open for anyone to come and say anything and go scot-free. I was tuning my radio and I heard someone asking people to send Momo so they can kill their family member. Send this Momo, you better finish him, And I'm like, are you selling a crime? And they're happy. And I thought, and the next time I said, let me listen to it again. Oh, send me this Momo, come to us through this place. I'll give you something. All your problems are going to be solved. And I'm like, in Ghana, is this the summary of our consciousness as a nation? Something is wrong somewhere, right? You are advertising something that you can't put facts to it, right? And so I think it's a calling, not just me or the Advertising Association of Ghana, but all conscious Ghanaians to know that this is not what I don't want my daughter to think that you can kill someone and go scot-free. I don't want her to think that instead of pursuing her dreams and following through and striving and going through, she can actually go to someone who will give her a handkerchief or give her a piece of water, put it in her food, and then all the time she's going to be successful. This is what we are teaching our kids. And this is what the whole nation should stand against. So when we call for a structure, a legal framework to govern our space of advertising, we are speaking from a passionate point of view, but from also a real point of view of shaping our consciousness as a nation. If it's happened somewhere else and it works, why can't we do it in Ghana? So we want a structured way. You look at influencers, everyone does whatever they do. Who does whatever they do without a law governing them, right? Some do it right, but some also wake up and they do whatever it is without any consequences. For us to grow as a nation, we must be willing to allow structures that we build to work, because that is the only way we can be disciplined. And it's out of the discipline that we all can thrive and move forward as a nation.
Andrew, how long is the tenure as president of AAG?
So it's ending in November. And it's been 4 years already. It was 2 years. 2 years is ending in November. And I think we're going to have, an amazing new president to come through and pursue the agenda.
What is the constitution? Does it allow for re-election?
Yes, only once. So I'm in my second year.
In your second year.
Yes.
So this is your
my final year in November.
Between now and November, what do you want to do?
Between now and November, I want to push the bill. And luckily, we're meeting the Ministry of Trade, which is sponsoring our bill. We're having stakeholders meeting. The minister has assured us that once the bill has been, fully put together, and she's going to pass it on to the Attorney General, and hopefully we can get it through to Cabinet. For the third time, it's been through Cabinet twice and gone to the floor of Parliament, but every time it gets into the political season, so the bill doesn't get passed. This time around, we're doing it early. So we are hoping that it can get through. At least I think it could be passed after my president. It doesn't matter because I'm only a torchbearer. Professor Temakwa Hayford, Gedilai, Mrs. Nokodua, Joel Nete, they have all passed through this before, Mr. Tombomens.
It was nice to see all of them at the
book launch.
Yes, and then the memorial, the launch of the Foundation and Fellowship
Yeah.
for
Dentsu
departed
Jr.
brother Dentsu Jr. It was nice to see the industry
Yes.
working
Yes.
together.
Yes.
Generations of the industry coming together in a beautiful way.
Yes.
And I love the words Joel shared that day, that you are supposed to be competitors.
Yes.
But obviously some things are bigger than competition.
Yeah, it's a family.
I think the industry showed that you're a family, and it was commendable.
Yeah.
How did you feel in that space?
I think it's great to see, the generation after you have so much confidence in your generation now and give you the support to do what you have to do. Because they pass on the torch to Joel, and Joel pass it on. I'm also going to pass on. But
that front seat with Mr. Ado, Gadilai,
and all
and then you were in it.
Yes, no, but when you see them and the respect they give you, and the way they shake your hands and say, "We like what you're doing,"
and they call you Mr. President.
Then they call me Mr. President,
yes.
Even though they're all ex-official. But most importantly, it's just that winning their confidence and encouraging you to do what you're doing. You can't, again, the things that you can't put words in. So Joel actually meant it when he said that you didn't have to be here.
Yeah.
But you came, you didn't have to be here, but thank you so much.
Right.
And that's how I feel. And that's why I think that whoever is going to take after me is going to pursue the same passion in making sure that, we bring some sanity into the advertising space, and then we can thrive and grow and become, bigger and serve our community.
And again, it's a calling.
It's a calling.
And it's not about the cash.
Yeah, it's here. You have to birth it.
This has been Springboard Venture Investing. Andrew Ackah, I am not surprised that there's so much more we still could have spoken about, but I believe with all my heart that if you are somebody contemplating starting a business or on the journey, or just interested in the idea of an entrepreneurial mindset, I think Andrew has shared enough that can propel you on your journey and provide the fuel and the tools to rise to the top. At least if you find yourself in what he calls the 7 lean years, it can assure you that it's only a cycle and you'll be back on the mountaintop. We found time for golf. We found time for self-awareness. We found time for being a student of life. We found time for even just hitting yourself and saying, you know what, don't get carried away by the adulation. There's work to be done, and it's not about the cash. We found time to look at other jurisdictions, what they do right that we can learn from.
Yeah.
What will be your closing message? Andrew, look into this camera. What will be your closing message to anyone listening about the entrepreneurial mindset, about finding their dreams, and maybe put Nanefua in the mix and speak to the next generation so we can get a number of Andrew Ackahs who know what they are doing and are enjoying it. Let's do this.
Yes. So my advice is pretty simple. Find exactly what keeps you awake at night. Find that passion. Believe in it, nurture it, talk to people who are willing to help you to achieve that. And once you find that sweet spot, please don't stop. Sometimes the journey might feel like it's alone, but trust me, you have people who are working with you. Keep at it, keep pushing. Find people who are willing to hold your hand and get you to where you're going to. But when you get there, know that it is not about you. It's about 1,000 other people. It's about 1 million other people who need you to do exactly what you're doing today so they can have the opportunity to also do theirs. So enjoy the journey, love it, but also give it up when you're done, because it's not about you. It's about others at the end of the day.
I'm smiling because it's a beautiful conclusion. When all is said and done, give it up. It's not about you.
Yeah.
Andrew, thanks for coming.
Thank you.
We should do this again.
Thank you, Rev.
We
I appreciate it.
A few more thoughts to explore.
A lot more.
Yes. So let's do this again.
Anytime.
Right. And a big thank you to you, Danefua, for joining us in this conversation. I hope you enjoyed it. Yes. If I had to summarize it with one word, I'm like that. Your uncle is like that. one word take out from this conversation, what would it be?
One word?
A whole hour of conversation, just one word. What one word is on your mind? Dreams.
Yes.
It's a beautiful word. You got it right, as usual. All right, so on this dreamy note, we bring the end to Springboard Venture Investing, brought to you by the Springboard Social Foundation in partnership with the Enterprise Group, MTN Ghana, and the Ghana Growth Program, a collaboration between Masaka Foundation and Springboard. A big thank you to our media partners, Joy 99.7 FM, Joy News Television, and the Graphic Group of Newspapers. And of course, the Springboard channel on YouTube is where you will find all these editions curated for your learning and for your kind attention. For me, it's been a beautiful time with Andrew and with Nanefua. And my name is Albert Okran saying, God bless you, and God bless you.